Hello, everybody. I am a little remiss again. I'm completely. Sometimes I get so focused on something that that's all I see. I get tunnel vision. I get very myopic when it comes to important things. They keep spitting out the fact that you don't need to be deceived. A lot of people question me. What am I going to get deceived about? The first warning that you have, it's already passed, but it's still true. If they say he is here, don't listen. Now, when I say he, I mean the anointed one. You want to choose another language, he's called the Christ, but that's what Christ means, the anointed one. There's a lot of type and shadow about being anointed, and there's a lot of type and shadow about the anointed one. If they say the Son of God, God made flesh, the King of Israel, if they say he is here, don't listen. That's written. It's already been written. But there's a lot of you that are going to listen. It's between you and him. Just like a lot of people, I speak out on Christmas and Easter. I will continue to speak out on Christmas and Easter. I, again, don't consider myself a Christian or a pagan. I am a disciple of Jesus, the Anointed. He has led me down a lot of roads that other people question. It's not for them to question. It's between me and him. Now, if you consider yourself a Christian, if you go to church, if you believe in Jesus, and put down the pagan holidays, Christmas and Easter are pagan holidays. A lot of people, like my sister, they don't feel convicted about Christmas and Easter. The other pagan holidays, like Halloween, oh, it's easy to dismiss that because it's still vaguely what it used to be. But pagans to this day still celebrate Halloween, celebrate Summer. They also practice Easter and Christmas, Yule and Ostara. They still practice it to this day. If you consider yourself a Christian, put them down. Be hot or be cold. If you're lukewarm, he's going to spit you clean out of his mouth. Now, that's the first warning, is if they say he is here, don't listen. That's the first thing about not being deceived. They will say that he is here. Now what I'm waiting on? I'm waiting on several things. I'm waiting on 7 years of peace being declared. When you hear that, Katie, board the door. It's halfway, 3.5 years into those 7 years of peace. All hell is going to break loose. Now, that's going to be literal shortly after that. When the armies of the world, whatever you want to talk, UN or whatever you want to call it, when the armies of the world surround Jerusalem, he's coming back. That's another thing. He's already on his way back. They say he is here, don't listen, because he's on his way back. He's on his way back now. Now, don't worry about anything. This is what I worry about is my loved ones. They're going to be deceived. God-fearing, Jesus-loving people, they're going to be deceived. Not one member of my family, not anyone that I consider a loved one, is sharing these videos. They're part of the elect website and blah, blah, blah. That, in the long run, doesn't matter. You share these things. You get the truth out. Witness people. If this is the only way someone hears about Jesus from you, that's fine. Let them hear it. It's our only job, is to spread the truth. It's the only thing we're here to do. That is it. Spread the truth. He came to die Man, let me tell you what I believe in. Now, there were times even my family they were confused. They didn't understand. I remember me and my older sister came to visit one year up here in Albertville. We came to visit Mom and Dad and do some sightseeing. Well, we went to look off the mountains. Beautiful scene. And it came to the discussion about me and witchcraft. Now, I called myself a witch. I was a witch for 10 years of my life. I was a magical physicist. Like I said, you have to understand everything. There are perpetrators out there. There are people that wear all black and all this. I never once wore an ounce of black. But there's people that wear all these chains and dog collars and all that crap. Say, I'm a witch. No, you're not. You are a perpetrator. You're rebelling against your parents or authority or whoever you're rebelling against. That's not what witchcraft is about. It's not what paganism is about. If you want to rebel, if you have teenage angst, that's fine. Deal with it. But I was an honest God witch, and I was questioned by my family. But God had me go down that road. Jesus had me go down that road. The Anointed One had me go down that road. So I would understand it. I've never been the one to be dictated to. If you tell me something, I'm going to go find out if what you're saying is true or whether it's bull crap. Now, there's a lot of time, like there were things that didn't make sense to me, like people saying that there was a difference between the Father and the Son and the Spirit, blah, blah, blah. No, there's not. There is not 1 ounce of difference between the three. They are all the same person. They are the same being. It irritates me. But that's one of the things. I went and I researched. Why did they say that there was a difference? I already knew. Like I said, as a child, I already knew my position. I already knew my disposition. I already knew what I was here to do. Just had to wait, which is the hardest part of anything, is waiting. But I went down that road, and I already knew. But let me explain to you. There was a man. And when I say the same dirt that you're walking on, the only thing that separates land masses is that there's water on top of some of it. Oceans are completely irrelevant. It's water that's settled. It's the same thing as a big pond. That dirt over there is the same dirt over here. There was a man who came and walked on the same dirt that you walked on and that you're made of. I believe wholeheartedly that he was God made flesh. He was the divine, wrapped up in flesh and born to Mary. Now, I have researched, I put in the time. I do believe that the fact that he's Jewish is completely incidental. Every race was tested. Only Abraham answered. Only Abraham, the father of the nations, only Abraham sought the truth. And it is only when you seek the truth, it reveals itself to you that you have to seek it. And he was born through a Jewish bloodline. Could have been any, but it was Abraham. He walked this earth, and he wasn't perfect. He was sinless. He was sinless. He wasn't perfect. He dropped his cross, just like everyone else does. But his sinlessness is what matters. Now, a lot of people have controversy. Jesus was married and blah, blah, blah. If he was married, he could do anything he wanted to his wife. Anything. They are joined together in holy matrimony. He can do anything he wants to his wife. Now, if he was married, it doesn't matter. He died so that we could live. Now, again, I do not say this from a religious standpoint. If he were the king of any other race, it wouldn't matter. If he was the king of any other race that had any other faith, it doesn't matter. He's king of the Jews. But he died so that we could live. All you have to do is breathe. Anybody, I say again, I want you to understand this is not from a religious point of view. This stuff actually happened. It happened on this planet. It happened. There's nothing religious about this whatsoever. A man walked on the earth and he died. Now, again, I'll reiterate this a million times. Anybody can crawl up on a cross for you. Anyone can die for you. The Anointed One said the true measure of love is that you would lay down your life so that someone else might live. You love that person. If you are willing to step in front of a bullet to defend this person, to die for this person, that's love. Now, anyone can do it. Anyone can love you enough to die for you. The true miracle is that this God made flesh did this. He died a horrible, horrible death. The miracle is that he came back from the dead. Now, he had risen many people from the dead. There was a kid, and the parent was really concerned. My baby's dying. He said, no, she's not dead. She's sleeping. Lazarus was already in the tomb, dead. He said, come on out. And Lazarus came out. He was God made flesh. He was the divine made flesh. He was born into this world, but he was not born of this world. Now, I told you that all that's not from a religious point of view at all. It happened. The deceiver, it's not from a religious point of view either. You are going to be deceived. It's already been written. You will be deceived. Even some of the elect will be deceived. If they say he is here, don't listen. If they say that God has wrapped himself up in flesh and he has come to save Israel, don't listen. If they say he is there in Jerusalem, go look for him. He's not. When he comes back, there will be no question. There will be no question. You don't have much time to believe in faith. That's why I'm saying it's a lot easier for those that believe now. It is so much easier for those that believe now. Because later on, when he's here, when he's walking around, you're still going to believe. Because he's going to be walking around. After his return, there's still going to be people being saved. He will present his hand to any doubting Thomas. Thomas looked him in the face right after he died. He'd come back from the dead, and he announced to those who loved him. Thomas looked him in the face and said, it ain't you. Let me poke the hole in your hands. Let me see that scar on your side. Then I'll believe. He presented to Thomas the proof. He will present his hands to you after he returns. Every knee will bow and every tongue will confess in every language that Jesus Christ is Lord. That Jesus, the Anointed One, is Lord. So, there's no escaping that. It's going to happen. He will present his hands to you. But it is so much easier for anyone in faith. I can sit here and I can tell you. Now, this isn't stuff I believe. I mean, I believe it. I believe it wholeheartedly. But it's stuff I know. I can sit here and I can tell you how I know. But you wouldn't believe me even if I told you. I told a friend once, told many friends once, the only reason angels don't present themselves is because they don't have any proof of who they are. They have no proof of who their boss is. There's a scripture that tells you to be careful how you entertain a stranger, because many have entertained an angel and not known it. Now, I ask you, how would you not know if they didn't look just like you? How would you not know? I mean, if someone walks up to you with a halo and wings and white gown and Birkenstocks, you're going to know that they're an angel. Be careful how you entertain strangers, because you could be entertaining an angel and not knowing. But that's the end of this video, I guess. I suppose. That's the first warning. It's already passed. There's a second warning coming. The first one is if they say he is here, don't listen. That's a simple thing that you just don't listen to what they're saying. But that's the end of this video. Until we meet again in love and in peace, you be blessed and love each other. Don't judge anyone. It is so stupid. If you've watched my tapes, you know it's stupid to judge someone. There was someone that came in the other day with a tattoo like everyone else has. Only God will judge me. Yeah, only God will. Are you ready for it? But anyway, you be blessed and love each other. You'll have a wonderful time. Bye.